let's get into some dubs right now. Kendra Andrews is going to join us at 8:30. Clippers win 121-113. They led by as many as 16, They were up 13 at the half. Spirited effort in the third quarter. They had a 16-4 run that started in the third quarter, ended in the fourth. They were down one, but obviously the big story is Draymond Green. Draymond Green. I think I'm going to go to Big John for these cuts here about Steve Kerr, right? So, John, let's play the first cut about how this is an opportunity for Draymond Green. Here's Steve Kerr, his pregame presser, discussing the opportunity for Draymond Green moving forward.
I think the suspension makes sense. To me, this is about more than basketball. It's about helping Draymond. I think it's an opportunity for Draymond to step away and to make a change in his approach, in his life. And that's not an easy thing to do. That's not something you say, okay, we're going to do 5 games and then he's going to be fine. The league did that at 5 games after the incident with Rudy. That's not the answer to pick a number. The answer is to help Draymond and give him the help he needs, give him an opportunity to make a change that will not only help him, help our team, but help him for the rest of his life. This is not just about, an outburst on the court. This is about his life. This is about someone who I believe in, someone who I have known for a decade, who I love for his loyalty, his commitment, his passion, his love for his teammates, his friends, his family. We're trying to help that guy because the one who grabbed Rudy and choked Rudy, the one who took a wild flail at Yusuf, the one who punched Jordan last year, that's the guy who has to change. And he knows that. Everything before that, over a decade of play, what are we really talking about, right? We're talking about, getting ejected for yelling at the ref or throwing a ball. But you look at the past year and what's happened, it's clear he needs the opportunity to change, and that's what an indefinite suspension gives him the opportunity for.
Steve Kerr, and he brought up Jordan Poole, and if you watch the video, he choked up a little bit when he brought that up and these situations up. And Draymond's going to go get help, and I support that. But, boy, it feels like it's a little late. And it's very disappointing because on the court, we're not talking about his on-court game. On the court, Spadoni, he was fine. He's playing well as he has in a long time offensively. Defensively, was there a little slippage? Sure. But he's still a very, very capable defender.
He's been their second best player.
Yeah. Well, basically.
Yeah.
And it's been overshadowed because he's missed half of the team's games in what was the most important season of his career. So we support him. We want him to get help. Help yourself before you get back on the court and try to help your team. But I don't think it's a good idea for him to practice with the team. I think he needs time away.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It's very odd that he would have practice still with the team. I understand it. But I do think he needs some time away for some mental, reconfiguration there, whatever he needs to do to get right. And obviously the league is trying to aid him in that. Mike Dunleavy Jr., Rich Paul, his agent, all that. But it definitely felt like a sobering moment for the organization yesterday with all these guys having to answer for Draymond Green's transgressions.
Curry did as well. Maybe we'll pull that in just a second. But here's Steve Kerr, the second cut here, Big John. And his expectation for Draymond Green when he comes out of this.
I'm confident that he can come out on a better side. I know him. He's an incredible human being. He's a very complex human being. In a lot of ways, he's incredibly loyal and passionate and competitive. And sometimes that same thing hurts him. Can he find that space to be on the floor and compete and bring it like he does every night and not cross that line? And that's what he has to do, and I believe in him. I think he's going to be able to do it, but I'm not sitting here saying, a couple weeks he'll be. That's not how this works. So he's got a lot of work ahead.
A lot of work ahead. Here's Stephen Curry last night, and Stephen Curry had a rough one. Fourth quarter against Phoenix, he was 1 of 8. Last night against the Clippers, 0 of 4 from the floor in that fourth quarter. Just 2 points, 2 free throws. They need to get him going, but he's going to see a lot of blitzing, a lot of doubles, a lot of triples, and guys got to take open shots. Clay took his open shots and was fine.
They were doing boxing one on him yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt. And why wouldn't you?
Right?
Now he's going to see Mikal Bridges. He's going to get doubled by Mikal Bridges and others.
I got Kawhi Leonard. I'm taking my chances, right?
Yes. No doubt. You can do that because others got to step up. They don't respect the other players on his team. outside of Steph. It's a disrespect to others.
It is.
And they should take it as that. Kevon Looney's got to shoot open mid-range jumpers. Just shoot a couple. Make a couple.
I know. Kevon's been disappointing there. You know who was sneaky good yesterday? Not even sneaky. He's been good. I'm going to say it. James Harden's been good for the Clippers lately.
Yes.
I didn't expect him to look like that yesterday, Bonte.
Five free throws in the first quarter alone. Had a double-double. Season high in points. Season high is
15 assists.
Yeah, season high. Season high.
That was impressive.
I mean, he cooked anybody in front of him. Moody, Pajimski.
It looked like Houston Rockets, James Harden. I was shocked.
He looks like he's starting to get into his rhythm.
Yes.
And shape. And if he plays like that,
they got a shot.
They're going to be a factor in the Western Conference.
Yes.
They did that without Paul George. Now, here's Stephen Curry, because a lot of people are getting on Stephen Curry. We'll take some calls in a second. Coach of Vallejo, hang tight. Mystic, hang tight. Shameless shout-outs in 17 minutes. Line them up, 888-957-9570. Stephen Curry, speaking on the support for Draymond Green during this suspension.
I know there's questions on what the suspension actually means time-wise and all that, and conversations we had yesterday were about him, personally, and making sure the focus is getting right, getting, on a path that's going to allow him to be who he needs to be as a person, as a man, father, husband, and a basketball player in that order. And that's going to, that journey is going to be challenging, but we're all here to support him and try to hold it down while he's gone. So, it's a tough situation all the way around, but we are capable of getting through it, himself included.
All right, here's Steph Curry. More on supporting Draymond Green and the team.
I don't know, like the program or the requirements or the things that he needs to do, but I'm here as a friend and a support to kind of lean in on being there for him, whatever that means. Yesterday was a conversation for us as a team to understand, where we currently are, where we're trying to go, and holding each other accountable, holding Draymond accountable to, what's been going on and what needs to change for, us to be right as a team, like I said, with him involved in that. But, every day is a new challenge, literally. And that's going to be something that we have to, be able to be support for him.
So the challenge now, Spadoni, pardon me, is that the Warriors have played in 20 clutch games this season. Games decided in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime when the score is within 5 points. The Warriors are 9-11 in those games. 9-11. So they got to figure out without Draymond Green, as he's away, how do they steal a game or two here over the next 9 before we get to the new year?
Well, it starts with that guy that just spoke, Stephen Curry. He needs to be awesome. And I know that's asking a lot of a guy, but this is what you ask of when you're a top 10 player of all time. You lean on these guys. You lean on Jordan, LeBron, Steph. These are the guys you lean on in times of, stress. When everything else isn't going right, you could always count on Curry. And right now, he's been struggling.
He is struggling.
But you know what? We've seen slumps from him in the past. I expect him to break out of it. But in the meantime, when you get a performance like he had from Clay last night, it hurts even more because you can't count on those every single time.